It
Just
just
published?
published in December.
Okay, I'm not too
Um,
far off. Okay.
no, not at all. Right around the corner. I've already had two book signings at one of the bookstores here in New Jersey. Um, it's been a ride. It's been fun. Um, you know, it's such a big story. I don't even know where to start. Um, I think number one, my kids were really surprised that I came out with a book. Um, and just for you all to know, it's called Mermaid's Affirmations Coloring Book. So it's it really came out of a period of where I'm in transition. I just moved from Florida. I'm here, I'm back home, the tri-state. And while I'm here doing that and caring for my family, um, time came about and I said, I have some stuff here that, I worked on and I never really finished. And while I'm here helping family out and, my kids out, I said, you know what? I think it's time. It's time to put out the stuff that I had sitting in the back burner. It's stuff that you want to do sometimes that you don't have the time to do because you're so busy in the hustle and bustle of life, and raising kids. I've been doing dentistry on them for over 20 years, almost 25 probably.
Wow.
And this book came about from my patients and also being a single mom and raising two kids. And I think being able to be in a position to talk with children all day, coming home to kids all day, you kind of get in that mindset of how they think, what they like, you know, things that trouble them, how they deal with things at school. It also keeps you like up to date with what's going on with them
Yeah.
as opposed to when I went to school. You know what I mean? The book gave me an opportunity to address a few issues that I've noticed that, our children are having, not just my children, but, the patients that I had, the things they came to the office and talked to me about while they're, coming for treatment. Um, and a lot of the issues that I've seen, Florida and up here in tri-state is bullying.
Mhm.
You know, we have a lot of children that are from different walks of life that have a whole bunch of different looks, whole different type of body shapes and sizes, and they get bullied for it. They get ridiculed. Even worse yet, today we have social media. They blast people on social media and they say things that really, are hurtful. And when you think about raising your kids in the type of environment that they're in, what you want as a parent is to make sure that they have the best possible environment. African mermaid, we have our Asian mermaid, Indian mermaid, we have our Indonesian, you name it. We have it all. And I've made sure that the ladies that are represented are skinny, thick, curvy, you're a big girl. I mean, we have it. And I made sure that each of them came with really positive affirmations so that children can understand that no matter what size or shape or color you are, that you are indeed important, you matter, you're seen, you're beautiful. And I make sure that all those affirmations are in each page. It's like my target audience really are for the parents, caregivers, teachers, providers. And I say providers because
That's a good one.
when the kids are sitting in the waiting room, a lot of them tend to be destructive if they don't have anything to do. So my thing is like my colleagues, my other providers out there, like it's something that you can put out in your waiting room and allow the kids to, really, have at it while they're waiting. And for teachers, you can use it during classroom, you could use it in aftercare. And like I said, it gives those people, the caretakers, the teachers, the parents, an opportunity to open up dialogue with the kids and really, negate those negative comments and, attitudes and biases that people have out there and start instilling that very early. I designed it in such a way that the cover is a mermaid and she is multiracial. And that's an ode to my children because my children are multiracial.
Mhm.
And I placed her there because she is a combination of all those girls in that book. So that I tell people that that is for you because this girl represents all of you. That's so funny. I don't know if you can see it.
I
We can't
can't.
see the words, but we can see the picture.
The picture. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, real easy. They're available at bookstores, but like if you're not in the vicinity of a bookstore, if your bookstore doesn't carry it, you can always get it on Amazon. If you place in the search bar, you could either place I would say just place Dr. Pascale Chery and the book will pop right up.
Okay.
So, but I ask people this, if you're going to purchase on Amazon, if you can do me a favor, just to leave a review on, what you think of the book, because I think a lot of people who may not know what it's about or really the meaning behind the book, I think it helps a lot of the viewers and our buyers to see, how people have received the book. Well, the thing is, it's not like I grew up knowing that I wanted to be a dentist. I grew up in a Haitian household. My parents are Haitian. And the first thing, I mean, I'm first generation. And my parents' thing was like, okay, listen, you guys gotta do something. It was me and my twin sisters. They're like, we need you guys to like hit it. In our country, it's very difficult to get an education, and we're here in America. Like, if you have the mental capacity to sit and study, get your education and go as far as you can. So all three of us became doctors. We're in different we're all different. I'm the dentist. I have twin sisters. One's a physician, the other one's a podiatrist. So we've all gone separate ways, but we've all gotten, our degrees. And my parents feel like they've done
They
it
hit
from
the
head to
jackpot.
toe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in my earlier years, my thing was like, I want to be an actress. I want to be a musician. Um, and I think around my teen years, I said, no, I want to be a musician. So I spent a lot of years in music school. I performed, I wrote music, I had stuff in the
Wow.
Library of Congress, and I was sure I was going to do that. And my parents turned around, they were like, and how do you think you're going to make money? And I'm like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
I'm like, how about that's like my heart? They're like, okay, does that pay the bills? And I'm like, they're like, you want kids? You want a family? I said, sure. They were like, well, how are you going to feed them? There are a lot of starving artists out there and, and very talented. And you would think because they're so talented that they would be, they would have the financial means to, carry a family and, responsibilities. And sometimes they don't. And they're like, how do you ensure that you're able to take care of your family? They're like, education. So education. This little boy was really interesting. He came in and I was like, hey, how are you? And he looked at me straight face, no answer. Mom's sitting over in the corner. And I said, sweetie, you're okay? Straight face, didn't answer. I'm like, well, what brought you here? He didn't speak either. And I was just like, okay, all right, this is going to be like pulling teeth, right?
Pun intended.
Right? Seriously. And he just didn't respond. And then I looked him in the eyes. I was like, hey, you okay? And then he goes, you're ugly. Thing is just, I will tell everybody this, that I love everyone, no matter who you are, what you are, whatever your gender is. God still made you. Um, I want you to be in a healthy place, whoever you are. I want you to gravitate to whichever book you gravitate towards. You know what I mean? Um, and whatever makes you feel good, gravitate towards that in terms of, just mental health. When I was in residency, we had an attendant that would come in and do pediatrics like once a week. And I remember him, and he would always single me out. He says, you over there, why do you always hide from me when I come? I said, Doc, listen, I'm not big on kids. I mean, I've never babysat. I've never changed a diaper. I mean, I don't relate to them. I don't have nieces, nephews. At that time, I didn't. Um, I don't know. I can't relate with them. He pulled me aside. He's like, because you were never taught to. You were never taught. He said, let me tell you something. He says, you were a kid once, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, I want you to dig deep down into your childhood and possibly pick up a few things that you remember, things that made you happy, things that you'd like to talk about, things that, made you sad. He was like, I want you to dig deep and pull those things out. He says, because those are the very things that are going to teach you how to relate to other children. But in terms of, the field that I've entered, the people that I'm able to touch and help, it's something that I never even saw myself, being able to do at one point in life. So whatever I can do, I feel like this is the time in life to, start to do it. We're only here on earth for, this much time, really, a lifetime is really not a lot.
Right.
It's really short. And if you can help with another generation, raise another generation, offer tools to help, another generation, by all means, do what you can. And, I'm here to, to try to help do that. Like that. So it wasn't like that at all growing up at all. If anything, I was not viewed that way, at least. Yeah. I wasn't looked upon as beautiful. We had a lot of issues with colorism within the community and even within family. And I don't think that I heard that, enough. I didn't hear that I'm important, that I'm, you're going to do something in life. I didn't hear that enough. And I think with the affirmations, like I really feel like it's important to start that early because um they had started that with me, I think I may be further along than where I am today.
If you want a chance to win Dr. Pascale Chery's book, get in touch with us and send us the affirmation that you wish you had as a child. And we'll pick randomly because we don't want to
Yes.
say like, oh, one is better than the other.
No,
We'll just
it'd be completely
we'll
random.
pick randomly out of
because they're all
submissions.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's a
And
great idea.
thank you. We love giving stuff away. Like
My Instagram handle is Dr. Pascale Chery, DrPascaleChery. And that's on Instagram. In Instagram, you'll also find the link for the book on Amazon if you're looking. And of course, anyone could DM me if they need, they need to ask some questions or have any concerns, but that's the biggest, the quickest way to reach me. And like I said, that link for Amazon is linked in my bio. So it's very easy. You'll find me. There's no one other, just me. And like I said, I hope that people, if it's not for you, hopefully you can find it for someone that that is a caretaker or has nieces, nephews, whatever, that they can share it with, that that would have a need for it, and just have them leave a review. And that way, we all take part in helping everyone in our village.